Welcome back to the Playing Out Loud podcast. Today I have a dynamic duo in studio. The faces are great already. Wineman and Associates.
Oh my God, we should have been lawyers.
We should have. Theatrical lawyers.
I'd work a courtroom.
Go for the jugular.
Yes, 100%.
We have Aaron Wineman and Rebekah, also go by Bekah.
Yes,
so we'll call you back
yeah.
throughout this. Wineman. Now, I think you're related. That's right. You're
Oh,
related.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
In name, and if you looked at our faces, it's the same face.
Okay. It's a cute face. It's a nice face.
Thank you. So pretty.
So, Aaron, lots of folks know through the Playhouse and through lots of community folks. Rebekah, you're a little bit newer back to the community, but you both have spent time around, we'll say, New York and other places. So let's launch in. Let's start with you, Rebekah. Rebekah feels so formal.
It is super formal. Only my grandmother called me that, and it was weird, so.
All right. I'll do my best not to.
Thanks.
But I don't know. Now that you've said my grandmother called me that, I'm like, well, maybe. Maybe I need to start saying that. So, Bekah, you are a Grammy Award-nominated audio engineer, and that was for Best Historical Album, Rhapsody in Blue, one of the best. The Extraordinary Life of an Oscar Levitt. Is that like the album that it was? Like, historical album that I'm not familiar with?
So it's usually... That specific thing was a box set, and so it was a lot of his works that he did. And going back in my brain, oh my gosh, it was so long ago. It was almost no, it was not 10 years ago, but we're getting there. I think it was from a specific session that he did, or maybe it wasn't. Because it's called like the complete. Like when we were doing these box sets, they were like complete works of these people's stuff. Like it was their life's work essentially. So,
Right.
And we did so many of them, so everything is always just a little foggy.
That's fine.
They
That's
all
fine.
overlap with
So
each other.
Yeah, The Extraordinary Life of Oscar Levitt and then
Yeah.
A Rhapsody in Blue. Okay,
Yeah, very
got it.
likely that it was his like life's work all in one box set because it was like 8 albums, and it was really beautifully done because there was like a book that comes with it. It's very old school style because no one has physical CDs anymore, but the people who buy this stuff really want this stuff.
Yeah.
Like they are collectors of what it is.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what they do for that category, and you're digitizing old recordings, making them sound good for the medium of today.
Wow.
Like, because we have new technology, we have new, we've advanced a lot from wax cylinders, lacquer discs,
Yeah.
even I could go on and on about this. I'm not going to because it's a lot. But yeah, we've just advanced a lot in technology since audio has started.
Yeah. And now, are those available, you think, on like Wow Music 400?
Oh my God. Now that's what I call
Now
music.
that's what I call
4,000
music.
million.
Wow
Yeah,
music,
absolutely.
yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
The youth is dying for that Oscar Levant.
They really, really, really.
I mean, Oscar's a great name.
Oh,
It
to be
God.
honest.
Yeah, it was good.
You also hold a Master's of Music and Sound Recording from McGill University. Where's McGill University?
It is in Montreal. So
Wow. Fancy. Wow. Stupid.
Owen Wilson. Yeah, it's a really lovely place. Montreal's like a very European city. And so the teachers there teach kind of like a Tonmeister style, which is like a European style of audio recording. And it's classical. Finding a classical recording program is very difficult outside of Europe. So they're one of them. New York, like NYC has one. I feel like there's one in Boston too, but I could be wrong.
But
Don't quote me on that one.
Super niche.
Super niche. And we learned a lot of stuff. Like we still learned about like film scoring and film dialogue editing. Like they did so many different disciplines. Like so much was in that program. It was exhausting. I think all in all, I was glad I did it. But looking back, it's a lot in 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, a master's degree is a lot in general, but I think a lot of people don't think about sound recording or audio engineering as an extension of the performing arts. They just think of it like, it's just this like technical nerdy thing, right? And you're like, yeah, but when you watch a TV show or movies or you go see a live performance, sound is like arguably the hardest, if not one of the hardest technical aspects of a show because so many things can go wrong, especially with live
It's so
theater,
annoying.
right?
It's horrifying.
Yeah. But supporting that so that everyone not only can hear, but like get the entire visual aspect, the performance tone comes through that sound, right? Like some of our favorite movies and stuff we remember because of theme music and how well it sounds and how it's engineered, and like it's like weirdly engineered in our brains to remember these stories in a weird way. So yeah, I just feel like it's a really unique thing that people don't talk about or don't know about. They're like, they're sound engineers?
Yeah, that's it's funny because there's like 3 very interesting things that people say and they all have the same energy. Someone the other day said that you're always the Clark Kent, you're never the Superman. You could never be the hero.
Interesting.
I always say you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And then the other thing that people say is that you are only noticed when you mess up.
Yeah.
And no one, and that's why I don't like live sound, because I don't want to mess up in front of people, because then you get people coming up to you and be like, oh, could you like do this and this and this? And I'm just like, I don't have the energy to be like patient about that. Anymore at least. I don't have the energy to be patient. So I'm just like, I usually avoid it. Especially being a woman in audio, a lot of men love to come up and be like, oh, I could totally do that better than you. I'm like, great, you can step on in here and do it. Fine.
Go for it.
Bye. I'm done for the night then, you know? So yeah, that's
a lot of opinions.
Oh God.
I know how to push record on my phone. I can do your job.
Oh my God. Totally. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly it.
We're pushing buttons today already.
Truly. Oh, yes.
You have worked for Latino USA, the Wall Street Journal, New York City, and you most recently were the Marketplace Technical Director for American Public Media Group.
Yeah.
You've won several awards, including a Webby for Best Kids and Family Podcast. That sounds adorable.
So fun.
You won the Edward R. Murrow Award for Continuing Coverage for Network Radio for the Baltimore Bridge Continuing Coverage Series. You are multidisciplinary in archival restoration, studio recording, podcasting, radio, voice, dialogue recording, and classical recording techniques. You've done freelance work for Sony Classical, which include artists like, I'm going to butcher these names. Well, I get this one good. New York Philharmonic. I can say that one.
So good.
Leontine Prince.
Oh, Leontine Price.
Wow.
A
not
gem.
even close.
She's such a gem. Oh my gosh. That was one of the first things I worked on. And like, obviously she was already deceased when I worked on her like body of work, but it was so beautiful. And like, and the cool thing is when you do this work, you then get to have the physical copy of something, and then you get to open it and see your name in there, and you're like, I did that.
That's pretty amazing.
It's really cool. And like, I've never listened to the actual CDs that I've gotten because I've listened to it so much that I never want to go back and listen.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, it's really fun and cool to just see it and be like, wow.
Yeah, more Owen Wilson. But you are an Interlochen native, and you went to West here in Traverse City, right?
Yeah, West Senior High. Shout out.
West Side.
No.
I know.
Boo.
Wow, that's a long list. We will get into how you started in Little Old Interlochen and TC and made it through all of these eras, I guess. I hate to throw a Taylor Swift reference in here, but truly sounds like
you're
eras.
really pushing buttons today. Sorry, Swifties.
Aaron's dying.
Becca's just, I'm walking out. I'm done.
Yeah, bye guys. It was really fun being here.
So, note to self, maybe don't bring in a sound engineer.
Yeah, she's never inviting a sound engineer back again because we're all the grumpiest people alive.
Oh, that's too good. All right, we'll pause so I don't push any buttons. More buttons. Aaron.
See.
You have a degree in theater and interpretation from Central Michigan University. You've spent time in New York City as an actor in theaters, film. You have credits with The Pillow Man and Clockwork Orange. You're a trained musician, and I didn't know this about you, but you're a trained musician with the bass guitar, French horn, and trumpet.
Yes.
I didn't
kind
know
of.
that.
I actually didn't know the trumpet one.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
I played trumpet for about 6 months in 7th grade.
Still counts.
Still counts.
And then I switched over to French horn and played French horn throughout high school.
Good choice.
And never picked it up again.
Yeah.
So my embouchure is gone.
Preach.
But bass guitar I've been playing since I was 14. I've played in several bands, played with the Neighborhood Dogs up here in Traverse City for about a year and a half, played with a band in New York called The Permanent Revolution. We recorded about 15 songs.
Wow.
3 little short,
Yeah.
what do you, not an EP, what's an LP? Little play? I don't know, what's
No,
a short
EP,
album?
No, you call it an EP, but also
And they
Permanent
had like
Revolution.
5 songs on it.
Permanent Revolution was an incredible band. They were so fun to go and see. The energy was nuts.
It was a group of very talented young men, and I learned so much playing with those guys. So
Amazing. And that was during your time in New York, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
We'll get to that in a minute. You've directed at the Old Town Playhouse.
Yeah.
You're currently directing The Minutes, but you've also directed for Young Company.
Yeah.
Remind me the name of that show again?
Show. Oh, which show? Like shows?
The Young Company, yeah.
So Young Company at Old Town Playhouse during the summertime, they have what they call Studio Factory, and I have directed for the teen section of Studio Factory. This last summer, we did Bad Auditions by Bad Actors.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Oh, hysterical. Great learning opportunities for the kids, too. The summer before that, we did the Iliad, the Odyssey, and all of Greek mythology in 99 minutes or less. Also, hysterical.
That sounds so funny.
All I see in my head are like those like medieval puppets that are ridiculous and they're hitting each other and like you know what I mean? Like it's like a very small stage or like
there is a moment in that where it's I forget who's the guy who fights the Cyclops and they're on the island. I can't remember, but they did sock puppets.
Yeah.
And then
Okay. I'm glad we were on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the summer before that we did a play called Arc 5.
Right.
So
wow.
And 2-week camp and we put up these shows and yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a good time.
A breeze. Sounds like.
So fast. 2 weeks. Good Lord.
During your time at CMU, you wrote 3 one-act plays that were produced, and one of which was selected for showcase at the Region 4 Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival, which I went to. I went to the state level to perform in that when I was at Aquinas.
Oh, nice.
So we made it to the second round, and that was like in Bay City, I want to say.
Okay, yeah.
It's like 09. It was quite a while ago, but that was so fun, though. What a great experience.
Oh, I loved that. I always had such a good time to see what other people are doing from other universities and see what other talent is out there and what other people are creating it was a great week. I loved it.
So Aquinas' theater program, maybe similar to CMU in some ways, focused, at least at the time, on new works. So we never did shows that were like well known. We frequently had like Midwest premieres or playwrights or things like that coming in, things that hadn't been put up, ever in Michigan or just were brand new.
Yep.
And so when we went to the Kennedy Center Festival, there were 2 groups of us, and one of them, maybe you know this, one of them was this hilarious little bit about like fairy tales that get merged into like modern day life. And I just remember the scene of, it was like Romeo and Juliet, who were a little, I don't know, strung out in a weird way. And they were like, Romeo had a turtle or something that got murdered like during this scene or something, and like it was a very bizarre little like thing. And then the other duo did a scene from a play called Matt and Ben, and it's a great script, but it's the story of if Matt and Ben had like how they wrote Good Will Hunting.
Oh God.
And it's performed exclusively by 2 women.
Incredible.
I love that.
It's one of the funniest.
Oh, gosh, I want to read that script.
So funny.
I want to see that.
I'll have to find that for you. But the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival is not super well known.
No, not really, I've noticed.
Yeah, but it is, I would say, prestigious on a collegiate level because of the new work that can come up. And I think just the level of people that are, it's a multi-step kind of process, and it's not for everybody, and it's not for the people that are like, I just love Annie.
Yeah,
Les Mis.
no,
you're like,
definitely.
This is not. You're not gonna love this.
Yeah,
like great shows, but like this is not that. Genre.
No kidding. And I think I was wrong. I think we were Region 3.
Okay,
that was my mistake.
Yeah,
but our biggest participation, like while I was at CMU, was the Irene Ryan Award nominations.
So good.
Yeah, which that was a lot of, if you got nominated for an Irene Ryan doing a show, CMU would pay for you to go and compete for a scholarship.
Yeah.
And then various other things, but it was also giving the students a chance to go and take different classes and workshops and things like that and just kind of like grow. So I always loved CMU for that and doing that for the students.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, gosh, I haven't heard of the Irene Ryan in a long time, but it was a big deal.
Yeah.
You also directed Bad Auditions by Bad Actors, which we talked about, Iliad, Odyssey, Arc 5. What was the one that was done in the spring, though, over at the event center off of Garfield?
The Man She Was.
That
was
such a fantastic interpretation.
Yes.
Yes.
Script.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was a very script.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone knows the story about that or look into it, very interesting history.
Yes.
But
the
Or
way
not
that-
history, actually.
the way to take what I would consider like collegiate level ideas of theater as far as like the mask work and things like that
Yeah.
and put that with youth of what were they like 12 and up, 14 and up?
Yeah, I think the youngest was 13 and the oldest was 16.
That's pretty fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
For such a really like a script.
I
I
mean,
mean,
a hard-
problematic script that
I was
Yeah.
going to say hard subject matter and
Yeah.
things like that. And then the drama behind the scenes
Yeah.
of what you find out
yeah.
in
yeah.
actual real life about that script is like, wow.
well, not only the script, but the person it's based off of.
Yes.
And come to find out that
Yeah.
it's, well, no, probably lied about the entire thing
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
push a book. And it's kind of like, this is not a story that needs to be told. This is not someone who needs to be remembered. Not to say that, like, she didn't do something
Yeah.
great for the time, but at the same time, it's like, we've moved on. And
Yeah.
this is not, it's problematic.
You can,
Um,
and you can have both. You can definitely have both.
Yeah.
But I think that comes into like when you first read a script, you get, you have that surface level like, oh, this would be so great for the kids. It's a part of Michigan history. This will be great to teach. And then you accept doing it. You get the
Yeah.
rights. You do all this stuff. And then you're 2 weeks before classes start and you're like, this is not appropriate to do, I've realized, after having the time to do some more research on the
Yeah.
history of this.
Yeah.
Can we not do this? Nope, rights have been bought. You got to do it. And then so
Right.
it's kind of like you're forced to pivot and change and just be like,
Mm-hmm.
we got to do something to make this acceptable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the creative process really kicked in.
Without changing the writing.
Yes.
Because one of my favorite things about working with you as a director is that like the first question you ask is like, who's the most important person in this story? And everyone's like thinking about like the characters, right? Like what's this? Oh, well, I'll just pick on the minutes. Like it's Superba. Like he's, I don't know, whatever. And you're like, it's the playwright. It's the playwright.
I have learned.
Boom.
Yeah.
Period. End of sentence. New paragraph.
No,
like, it is
yeah.
the playwright.
I always think of it like I was raised Catholic. So I always think of it like, no, the playwright is God. The director is the Pope. You are all priests preaching to your congregation.
Congregation.
Yeah.
Like it's I really think of it as like this religious thing. And it's like a playwright, like we're working on the minutes right now. Tracy
Yeah.
Letts is my God.
Yep.
It's kind of it's a bit of an extreme, but I think it's a good example of like this is
Yeah.
the hierarchy of how this works.
Yeah.
I have learned so much from talking to Aaron about theater because, like, I'm not a theater person, like, point blank, period, not a theater person. And so when Aaron would take me to these shows in New York, we would analyze them afterwards and I would have an interpretation and he would have an interpretation. And I'm like, whoa, I never thought of it that way. And now I feel like I've learned a lot from him and, like, how this stuff goes.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not
Yeah.
stuff. Whoa, let's not go there. Devil Wears Prada word. It's not stuff.
Sure.
Scripture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heathen.
But yeah, I just think it's so cool because I learned that from Aaron. I knew the answer when you said that. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's the playwright.
Yep.
100%.
It's the playwright.
That is the most strict part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
What is written.
So to take something that's problematically written, but written for a reason and written a certain way for a reason, and to say, wow, like, would really prefer not to do this for
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z valid reasons, but to be able to say, here's what we're going to do with it instead.
Yeah.
To flip it, to change the perception of what's being talked about and the
Yeah.
difficulty of the material
Yeah.
and the isms that are throughout a show that don't need to be brought into light in a way that
Yeah.
will be inappropriate or like, you
Yeah.
know, like those things don't need to be glorified,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Especially because you're not trying to dismantle those ideas.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
There's when that was not happening. So to take that and use your creative lens, like I saw it and I was just like, this is hella good.
Thank you.
So,
No.
and the kids were fantastic.
No, the kids were great, but it's also one of those things that I think is important to teach, especially like when we're working with kids, is that nothing is perfect, right? Like you're not going to put on a perfect performance. I'm not going to direct perfectly. The script is not perfect. There are still many beneficial things within a problematic script.
Yeah.
And if you take the problems that you notice and teach about them and teach why they're problematic and why we're changing and doing the things the way we are, I don't know. I think you're taking something negative and turning it into a positive.
For sure. And you're keeping the integrity of the writing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what some folks get into, I would say, trouble with in the sense is they're like, well, we're going to add a line here to make that make sense or this or that. And it's like,
Oh,
you
yikes.
shouldn't-
No,
really
you
shouldn't be doing
misinterpret
that.
it. You're not understanding the text.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
is that not illegal?
No, it's illegal as hell.
Yeah, it's not. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, like if you're in a super small town and no one's sitting there in the back and being like word for word, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a thing. But
That's-
yeah, adding a line, removing a line because you're uncomfortable with it or whatever. It's like
Ooh, I don't like that.
No.
you have to think about that. And that's why
Yeah.
it's always like so important, whether you're auditioning or whatever, like read scripts. You have to read the
yeah.
scripts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've alluded to a couple times here that you both lived in New York City at the same time. So I kind of want to chat about that. How did you both get to New York City? What was what got you there?
Aaron's first
Okay.
because he was there first.
I was there first. No, so after I graduated from college, moved back to Traverse City, got a job substitute teaching because that was the only job around. This was in 2011, 2012 when I moved back here. The only job that I could get that required a bachelor's degree was substitute teaching.
Okay.
And it paid better than any other, job that I could find in the area. So I was like, damn it, I spent money on this. I'm going to use it. So started substitute teaching.
That's so classic, our dad.
Shut
I
up.
spent money on this, so I'm going to use it.
Exactly.
That's 100% family, yes.
So I did that for a couple of years and then was getting ready to move to Chicago with a friend, and that fell through completely. So in a massive state of depression, I talked to some friends who were teaching in China, got an application to teach there in a stone-filled drunk night, chatting with them over Skype. And the next morning I woke up and checked my email and, hey, here's all the information you need to fill out. Come and teach at China. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to China to teach.
Wow.
So
Incredible.
I taught at the Hainan Foreign Language College of Professional Education.
Okay.
And it is strictly a vocational college where all they teach is just foreign languages. So kids who would go there to work with advertising companies, diplomats, anything that would require a translation within China or, to be sent out to companies in other countries. They all, would go to this school to learn.
Yeah.
So I taught English there. And after I survived China, I was like, fuck it, I can move to New York.
He could literally
I could do
go
that.
anywhere.
So I got back from China in like July of 2014 and then moved to New York in August 2014.
Wow.
Suitcase and a dream.
Yeah, I get that.
Couch surfed for 6 months. Some amazing friends from college put me up. Huge shout out to all of them. So yeah, I was just like, I survived China. I can move to New York and let's try this. Let's make a go at it.
Yeah.
Aaron
wow.
is so much braver than I am. I'm the most like type A bitch there is. And if there is not a plan, that's a no. I'm not going to go there. But there ended up being a plan for me. And I got to see Aaron when I interviewed for this one job. So that was pretty awesome.
So when did you strategically pack your bags and make the decided move to New York City?
Wild. So let's see.
Summer 2016.
Yes, because that's when I graduated from college and like 6 months, back up 6 months. Obviously, I'm making a plan 6 months in advance because I'm a psychopath. And the type of schedule we had in grad school was you were working 10, 12, 14-hour days every day, maybe Sundays off if you're lucky, which is not European as much as Montreal's European in my brain. We were constantly working, so I had to plan out my life so strategically. And I've been trying to break that habit for such a long time. But someone had said I'd really gotten into like restoration. I had gotten hired by this, what's it called? In Canada, they don't say Indigenous in Canada. They say First Nations.
Okay.
So there was a First Nations tribe that hired me to clean up some of their audio. And I was a baby when it came to archival. So I was very nervous. I wanted to do the best work I could for them. It ended up being on the CBC, which I was like freaking out. And they were really happy with it. So I was like, they're happy with it. I'm happy with it. And so I kind of got this taste for it and being like, man, we can really preserve things for people and like make sure that people are very aware of it down the line. So I started talking. I thought I was going to open an archival business in Montreal because there are so many churches there. They have a ton of weird mediums, like physical mediums. And so I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And then one of my teachers said, hey, I used to work at Sony and there's a guy in New York who does archival work still, freelance for Sony Classical. You should talk to him. And I said, okay, well, my brother lives there and, it's easier than having to get all the paperwork together to like become a permanent resident of Canada. Which, hindsight, mistake, but whatever. So I was so nervous to call this guy that I wrote my own like script down. Playwrights are gods. I wrote my own script to talk to this guy because I was so nervous. And he finally asked if I would come down. And I was like, yeah, sure. I remember being at my ex-husband's house and, well, he was my boyfriend at the time. And casually mentioning like in an email to the guy, like, yeah, we'll be in New York in a couple days, blah, 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 if you're interested in that. Like, which we had no plans of being in New York. We were in Toronto. We had no plans of being in New York, but I just casually wrote this email to him. He said, oh yeah, I'm available this day. And so that happened. I'm like, hey, Kaylin, we're going to New York in 3 days or whatever. Yeah. So he's like, okay. So we went and I told Aaron that. And I mean, that was pretty spur of the moment, but I'm like, it's for a job. If it's going to be for a job, let's go.
Yeah.
So we went down there and I spent like 3 hours with this guy in his studio. We were listening to music. We listened to Adele, which, come on, I love Adele. On these huge,
Top
like
5 favorites.
Her voice is incredible. And like on these huge speakers, so it sounded really, really good. Like he had these really top of the line speakers. And I was like, man, I really hope I get to come and work for this guy. And so like, he said, yeah, great. You know, we'll talk in a couple months. But as far as I'm concerned, like, come work with me. And I was like, yes. And I got $25 an hour into me. Big deal.
That's
25 bucks an
awesome.
hour, huge.
Yeah.
In 2016, oh my God. Until you get to New York and realize how expensive it actually is. So I did nothing that whole summer and just weaseled away money.
Love it though.
Yeah. And it was cool because we celebrated afterwards. I went and visited Aaron at his work after I talked to the guy being like, dude, it's a done deal. We're moving here. And we're like, I'm freaking out and being hyped about it.
Yeah.
And then we moved in together.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, no. No. I mean, it was actually pretty great. In hindsight, it was great because we had horrible roommates after that.
You did.
No,
I
you
did too.
did.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah,
Dude,
that's fair. Yeah.
I could talk about that stuff all day. I know this is not about
Nope.
New York's worst roommates, but
That's a separate podcast.
we can make a podcast about that. But it was we lived together for 2 years and I thought it was
just about.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty great time.
That's awesome. How did you get into sound engineering, music? Like, where did that start for you?
Well, so I played oboe and I was obsessed with it. I really wish I didn't take the advice sometimes of my music teacher, Dan Stoper, excellent, RIP, excellent man, excellent oboist. I didn't go to Interlochen, but I took lessons from him and he worked at Interlochen. And Dan asked me one day, he's like, and I think I was like 16, and he was like, do you want to become a professional oboist? And I said, yeah, like, duh.
Why not?
It was the type A plan. I'm like, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And he essentially said, you're not good enough to be in the New York Phil. And I'm like, I shouldn't have taken that advice because the New York Phil was not the end all be all of like orchestras to be in any way, shape, or form. And what I realized I did like doing was playing in pit orchestras because we did Les Mis at our high school. And that's like Oboe City.
Yeah.
The pit is not the star of the show, but the oboe was the star of the show.
In your head.
In my head, totally. Because no one had to look at you.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. It's like you just got to support the actors on stage and play. And that was awesome. Because like I developed a fear of performance. And I feel like if I was in a pit, it would be less scary. And I'm only mildly annoyed that I didn't continue with that. But whatever. It's fine. Because like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
So you played oboe. You got a scholarship to
the University of Memphis. And that was a really fun experience. I really enjoyed going there. Once again, John Fraser, excuse me.
But did you at University of Memphis, you were minoring in oboe, right? And
that was actually, come to find out when I went to graduate, they're like, you can't major and minor in music. You can't have both. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me that? I could have.
So do you have a minor in oboe or no?
I have a minor in nothing.
Oh, nice. Me too.
And zero, yeah.
But kind of technically you might.
Yeah, kind of technically I might. And like.
But I thought you got a scholarship for playing oboe.
I did. But that's the thing. Is like they gave me a scholarship to play.
Oh, okay.
Which ended up being great because like their sound recording program was very good.
Yeah.
Like John Fraser was so detail oriented and his ears are really good. And like, you know, he's a little grumpy. As once I said, engineers are grumpy. But once you get to know him and you like work really hard and like show him that you're serious about, you know, the craft of being an audio engineer, he's just like a fountain of knowledge and like shows you incredible music and like, he's just great. Just a great man.
So you tiptoed into that at University of Memphis?
Yeah, kind of. Because like my mom had mentioned this last night. She said, well, you also didn't want to be a teacher. And I said, yeah, I didn't want to be a teacher. Once again, being a teacher is like performing in front of a class. Like you have to be in command of the room. And I don't want to do that. So she also mentioned that. And so I'm like, I liked math. I liked science. I liked music. Listened to it all the time. So I'm just like, this seems like the right path. I was really bad at it though. You have to practice. It's something for someone who is a recovering perfectionist, you have to practice, you have to mess up, and then you have to try again. And I did not understand that at all. And I hated it.
I love that you're a recovering perfectionist.
I am, because it's not real.
Yeah.
You can't be a perfectionist. It's stupid. No one is perfect. You just have your own interpretation of something and go with it. So.
Yeah. I think stand-up comedy would not be your venue because 80% of stand-up comedy is bombing.
Oh yeah, I'm a hobbyist stand-up comedian in front of my friends. I can tell a great
Aren't we all?
Yeah, exactly. I can tell a great story in front of my friends. In front of a crowd, absolutely not. Gross.
For both of you, what do you love most about your career and experiences so far? I mean, it's been varied, and I don't just mean like jobs, but like if you think of the through line of either being behind the scenes supporting performing arts, in whether it's in a studio or your experiences in New York or elsewhere, like what are the highlights for you? Projects, things you've gotten to do, things you've learned, people you've met? Just kind of curious.
I've always been a huge fan of storytelling. Like I am one of those people, my favorite pastime is watching movies or episodic shows. And to be a part of that and to share that with other people, I love that. I love that. What we do at Old Town Playhouse, I think is so important for the community. Everyone deserves to hear these stories told as best as what we can tell an audience. Not everyone can afford to go to Lansing and see a tour, or to go to New York and see like a live show, or Chicago or Detroit. And it's like those people deserve to hear these stories too. They deserve to be a part of that conversation. They deserve to have a thought, and they deserve to have their beliefs challenged, and I think theater and any type of storytelling, has that potential to do that. And I think people should be challenged. Their faith, their beliefs, their thoughts. It's like, how do you know what you truly believe if your beliefs are not challenged? So that's what I think I like most about being a part, like my career so far.
I know. I said the word career and your face went,
yeah, I'm like, I don't have a career. I'm
that's not
barely surviving right now. Like, what do you mean career? I'm about ready to live outside my car and be content.
I mean, I think we all are at this point. But.
No, but I think that's what I enjoy. I like sharing that and opening people up to new ideas and new thoughts.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, I feel like the thing that I enjoy the most about my career is I'm to the point where I can trust myself to do the work and that other people trust me to do the work, because nothing is worse than someone micromanaging you professionally. And I feel like I have finally gotten to that point where it's like, because I was always afraid to ask the question. I was always, because like recovering perfectionist, afraid to ask the question, afraid to be wrong, afraid to look stupid. And I'm just like, I'm so over that. If someone thinks I look stupid, I'm like, sorry, that's on you. I'm asking a question because I don't understand.
Yeah.
So just answer it.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, that's fine. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust is such a huge factor in all of our careers, no matter what you do. And being able to get the trust of your peers, the trust of your boss, to me, that is the most calming thing. I'm kind of in the same boat as Aaron, like, because we are in a bit of a shit show at this moment in time. I got laid off from my public radio job, and it was such a good job. It was my favorite job, and I still love my colleagues so much, and they still make such a great program. Shout out to Marketplace with Kyra's Doll. They rule. But it's like, to find the next thing, I have to trust myself to be like, hey, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
No matter how many times other people tell me that.
Right.
I have to tell myself that because I don't believe them, but I have to believe me. So
yeah, it's a big part, I think, of any aspect of the performing arts, and also just being human, where you have to believe in yourself
100%.
because of the level of vulnerability that's required to be successful. And by successful, I mean whatever your definition of success is, right? Because
for sure.
like somebody could just be like low-key writing on the side, like they do their whatever job, and then they're like writing scripts or a novel or something, and they're like, success to me is when I finish this script. That's my success. It doesn't matter if anybody ever reads it. Doesn't matter if it ever gets produced, bought, etc., published. Doesn't matter. I wrote it, and I wrote it for me. And even that, the act of doing that is super vulnerable, right? You're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You're not depending on anybody else to be like, hoorah, you did it. Let me show you how cool you are by publishing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think another point to that is to hit the nail on the head even more is just like money will never be a proof of success because you can see from people who already have a ton of money are still wanting to get more money.
Yeah.
So they don't feel like they're successful yet. And I think that's insane.
Yeah. There's a measurement that Gallup does. I think they update it every handful of years or so, and it's basically the happiness measurement in relation to salary.
Yep.
And so back when I did my term as an AmeriCorps, the number was $75K. And that was basically, this is the amount of money, the maximum amount of money you can make to achieve the maximum amount of happiness. Meaning, if you make $80K, you're not any happier than you were at $75K.
100%.
And there's a bunch of research involved, in that. And I think that's something we forget. I know when I was in LA, maybe y'all experienced this in New York, is that when you meet people, they're on a mission to become famous, to get their stuff, to be in pictures, to have the big houses and all these like celebrity-esque things.
Yeah.
But then when you can find your clique of people, your community of people, they're like, we just really love to do this. And that's why we're doing it. And if I can pay my bills and I can, I'm a working artist.
Yeah.
And hot dang, that is success for me. That is my ultimate success. And those people I feel like we've all probably met and worked with and been around with. Those are the people that help curate who we are today and our favorite version of ourselves and our best moments and our happiest, when we're really seeing storytelling done because somebody wants to do storytelling, right?
Yeah.
Or they're working on some historical archive. You're like, this is just so beautiful. I'm just so excited to do it and do it justice.
Yeah.
Those are the people that actually make the best stuff. It's not about the money and the blockbusters and whatever else. It's
and the community.
Yeah. Cool.
No,
but that's not, for us as artists and vulnerable people, that's not the end all be all.
Yeah. And also having the community, because like to view your colleagues as competition is probably the most messed up thing, because it's like you will have to rely on those people one day. I have talked to so many people I haven't even talked to in years, where I'm just like, hey, I got laid off. Can you just keep an eye out for something? And they're all like, yes, 100%. They are there for you. And it's so nice.
Yeah. I think artists as a community in general, when people are really in it, are the best.
Yes.
They're we get it. We're vulnerable, we're messy, we're all recovering perfectionists. We're covering other things.
Yeah. I think Aaron is a testament to the try something, didn't work, let's try it again. It's just something that has taken so long for me to get to, and I'm jealous a little bit.
Everyone has their own journey, right?
But I think that's why we work well together, though.
Yeah.
He's always open to ideas. Like a drip, for example, but he will shut it down if he doesn't like it.
I'm dying over here.
Sorry, everyone. But
I hate you so much.
I know. Sorry, everyone. That was a note from what we're all working on together. And I was really adamant and excited about it. And Aaron's like, no, we're not doing that. And I was sad. But I take that note. I accept it because he's my director, not my brother right now. Yes, we will razz each other because we're siblings, but hey.
Right.
Say la vie.
What do you both think, as we've kind of talked about the deeper aspects of being human in these various areas, what do you think is the most challenging thing about performing arts right now?
Lack of public funding.
That's a big one. It's a big one, yeah.
No, it's a lack of public funding, but it's also, I think there's a lack of respect in the arts. In our society in general, people put so much focus on what is now without completely forgetting that dance and music and drawing and sculpting and storytelling were to me, those are the pillars of the human experience.
Yeah.
That's how we communicated before we had language, before we had alphabets, before man invented God, right? This is how we communicated.
Yeah.
It's such a foundation for human beings. And to me, it's just kind of ignored in America, in the United States. People are like, well, anyone can do that, so it can't be that valuable.
Right. We see that exemplified through people trying to cut arts funding, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't understand it.
Yeah,
They're not connected to it.
Yep,
They're
they don't
they're
get
off in
it.
a different reality of some kind.
Well, but it's also, people talk about how, well, theater's dying because it's not real. And, you're on stage and that person isn't really dying on stage.
No,
and it's like,
blows my mind.
Well, and in my mind, I'm just like, God, our education system has failed because it's not about how real it is. They're telling you a story.
Yeah.
You're listening to a story. You're watching a story. You're not supposed to think it's real, you dumbass. Like, are you kidding me? It's a story. Just listen to the story.
I would like to quote Aaron, I guess that's just not for you then.
Oh, God.
Which is true.
No,
Which is true.
But that's the thing, though, is that like there are certain types of storytelling that will not. It's not something you enjoy. Yeah. Some people connect with stories that are more dramatic. Some people connect with musicals. Some people connect with comedies. That's what helps them connect to ideas and thoughts, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to take someone to some clown show, and expect them to. Find something, meaningful in it. But it's like you can still
that's offensive to clowns.
No, but would you let me finish?
I'm sorry.
But there is still so much to be gained from the stories and vignettes that are told within a clowning show.
True.
And it's being able to take yourself out of your expectations and just experience something.
And what did you get from it?
From
like
and what you
show.
take away from it at the end. It's like,
Yeah.
what did you experience? What did you see? How did it make you feel?
Yeah.
And people get so in their head of, clowns. And then they sit there pissed off that they're even there watching it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird to me how people think something is supposed to be something because that's the only way they've experienced it without understanding that there's a vast array of different forms of theater.
Yeah. And performance.
And performances in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm so glad Aaron went first because I had an answer for this and then forgot it. And now I remembered it. No, now I remembered it. I think the lack of respect for creativity is one. But then there's another thing too, is the oversaturation of information and media that we have. It is unbelievably overwhelming to choose what you decide to look at, what you decide to listen to. And for me, that's almost come to the point of like, can I just throw the whole internet away? And like, go ahead.
Well, no, but I also think it's a lack of education. No one's taught how to interpret.
That too. Yeah. Especially when it comes to like things like satire. We were even talking about, because we go out into the woods on Halloween and listen to War of the Worlds, and talking about, is that considered misinformation, disinformation? Was it a misinterpretation of art? And I decided, for me at least, it was not disinformation because they weren't trying to upset people with that radio program. And what I did find out, and I don't know if this is true or not, because the story has always gone that War of the Worlds freaked people out. They fled en masse, like after they heard what was happening, all this stuff. And then I read an article last night that was published 2 days ago that wasn't true. And I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Was it true? Was it not true? And so now I'm kind of conflicted of like, was it a misinterpretation? Because like radio programming back then, you knew what was next on the radio program. So I'm like, they must have known that there was a story coming up.
Unless you entered it 30 seconds in and you missed like...
Or that.
Yeah, you know
or it's your first time
I don't
listening.
think, not everyone had a radio in...
Oh, definitely
was
not.
Was that 1939?
I think, yeah.
38 that aired?
Oh, yeah, definitely not. That was like the big new technology for sure because, well...
Well, in the U.S. hadn't quite entered the war, but World War II was very much on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to say Germany really developed a lot of audio stuff, a lot of ways to communicate as well. So that's... Yeah, wow.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of public speeches, right, happening. That's how the propaganda began, and they were recorded audio, and then that went to air, right, through the nationalistic lens, and that was how they communicated. So I think the timing of the War of the Worlds is important.
Yeah, well, and Germany was the country that made radios cheap for propaganda.
Yeah.
They made them purposely cheap so people would buy them so that they could air propaganda. So yeah, pre-World War II, radios were extremely expensive to own. So yeah, I guess I could see, I think it could have gone either way. But now I'm bothered by the fact that, have I been lied to this whole time? I don't know. But I think the idea, and like,
But that's how myths and legends
True,
are,
lore.
created. And
Yeah. Which is also kind of exciting because it was a Halloween program. So that's,
Yeah.
it's such a cool piece. But the other thing too is like, obviously the invention of AI, all that stuff. I mean, I have to mention it at least a little bit. It's just irritating that
we don't want to pay people to make something, so we're going to, type a few words in and, oh, look, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And something that I saw, and LinkedIn is a hellscape, by the way, and I'm sure a lot of people know that. But there is now a company that decided to make AI influencers and then make podcasts circled around these AI influencers. And so they estimated that they could make these podcasts for like, at most like $1 or something. And it is extremely offensive to me and all the people who work very diligently in this sphere. And the fact that like they think that they will get the same product and be able to pump out all this information. I'm like, the problem is not quantity.
Yeah.
We have enough.
No, but that's what happens when you have so much money. You can create so much shit, throw it against the wall. What sticks?
Yeah. And it's really unfortunate. Like we are in this like creative crisis because people who don't do the creative work do not understand. And I guess once again, it goes back to educating the executives, CEOs, the marketing people. Like it is unbelievably unnerving to me that is what people think is like appropriate after we have spent so much time and energy on making something that we actually care about. By the way, I'm not AI. Just let you know, not AI.
Yes, you are.
Oh no.
A couple more questions and then we will get close to wrapping up, I guess. And I will say that the AI piece has not come up yet, but I think that is one of the many tipping points that I know Hollywood is experiencing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have friends who've been veterans in LA for a long time and are finding different ways to exit or have already left or whatever. And it sort of feels like it's sounds like at least it feels like a pre-2008 crisis.
Yes.
But for Hollywood.
Yes.
Like the golden age of Hollywood has been done for a long time. But even like the newer era of it has also been done for a long time, which I think is why we see the consolidation of production companies and bigger companies buying them and this and that. Like,
and them moving to Atlanta.
Yeah, and then some are leaving. Unfortunately, Michigan doesn't have any of those incentives that we used to have. I'm a firm believer that given enough time that whether it was Grand Rapids or Detroit could have been the Atlanta of production, right?
Absolutely.
But all this comes back to the lack of belief in the creative arts, therefore wanting to pull funding, therefore wanting to, create AI, like all these different things. And it's really good creativity, really good artisan work is worth the money. It's worth the $30 you're going to pay to go see that show.
Yeah.
Because these are also the intangible things. Ethan Hawke has this really great interview somewhere on YouTube, and he talks about the importance of like poetry and things like that when people want to defund creative arts or just stop investing in it with humans. Well, when you're going through something, right? When you're grieving something or there's some type of loss or even just maybe the opposite, elation, what is it you go to express yourself or to feel things about that? It's music, it's art, it's poetry, it's maybe reading. Like it is those things.
Yeah.
That's foundational to us as humans. So you can't say that those things aren't important because they help you be a human.
Well, and I would even put like high-end like chefs and stuff. That is an art form too. When you want to go and celebrate something, or if you're like upset, you go to that comfort of those things. So I will put chefs in that category.
There's so much artistry, truly. One of my absolute favorite nonfiction books is Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art. The whole book is this idea of understanding what resistance is a thing that tries to make you not do the thing you're supposed to do. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to be a chef or an artist or you want six-pack abs or whatever. And he makes this statement, and I've maybe said it on the podcast before, I don't know, but he makes a statement about Adolf Hitler. And he says, Adolf Hitler went to art school, and I think it was in Vienna, but have you ever seen any one of his paintings? And then he's like, call it an oversimplification, but it was easier for Adolf Hitler to start World War II than it was for him to face a blank canvas.
Dang.
And it's just like, it's huge, but it's like, think about that.
Yeah.
That gave me chills. That's crazy.
And that's like, again, like an extension of this idea of like, we do need the art. Otherwise, we are dehumanized, right?
Yeah.
So all that to say, yeah, I agree with both of you. I think it's multifaceted, all the
Yeah.
challenges we're facing. And it's not just Traverse City. It's not just Northern Michigan.
No.
It's not even just the state of Michigan.
Everywhere.
It is
Country.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, talking about what we talked about earlier, the community that we all have and share, it's not perfect. It's never going to
No.
be.
No, but it shouldn't be.
We're going
It's
to be
human.
like,
Yeah.
this sucks, or this conversation really sucks, or like whatever,
Yeah.
thing is going to be imperfect. But at the end of the day, like we do still show up for each other, and we still continue to forge forward, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And it isn't a competition, right? Like,
No.
if you're just in the space creating, you should be grateful. You
Yeah.
know, if there's any major city that has multiple theaters or things like that, they're not in competition with each
It's
other.
it's just
they're
like
working
room.
off each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's room for everyone. And also it's like different places and playhouses and different art venues all have their own different vibe or interpretation or whatever they're doing. So it's like if one place is not working for you, you could go to a different place. It's like, oh, we connect here. This is better for me. So it's like, yeah, it's a community of people.
Yeah.
So
Okay, one last question, I promise. I feel like I'm doing the Midwest, like Thanksgiving.
I love this. Little Midwest goodbye. Ooh, I love
Midwest goodbye.
it.
A friend and I have this keyword we say when we're on the phone, and we just kind of keep, it's like circling the drain a little bit, or we just really need to go. And so we just say a keyword and then we hang up.
Oh my God.
And we'll say like, all right, I love you, Verners, bye.
Ooh, I like that.
We just drop a Midwest Verners.
See,
Yep.
I have
That's
that with
it.
my friend, but
That's
it's
it.
just like like a really long,
Yeah.
or like, well, and my mom and I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Erin does it, but like, I know my mom and I have the same, like, so there's like a little pause and we're like, so, well,
Yep. So to avoid that, we're like, okay, well, I gotta pee. So Verners.
yeah, that too. Yeah.
And then there's like a guilt, and they click, and that's it. You know?
I love that.
So anyway, I'm not going to Verners you, but based on both of your experiences in New York, and we didn't get too much into those, so we'll have to have you both on for a second round.
Yes.
But y'all did lots of different things in New York, but you've also done them in China and Michigan and other places, Tennessee, Montreal, etc. Based on some of those experiences and where those have brought you to today, what kind of advice would you give somebody? Like if you think of one thing, like an advice to somebody who maybe is interested in moving to a new city or trying their hand at performing arts for the first time or some type of adventure in that space, like what's most important to you and what would you share with somebody?
No, I mean, I don't know, that's a lot of different things. I think biggest thing is that just don't be afraid to be wrong. Mm-hmm. I think that's one of the biggest things that people have moving to a new place or you're questioning, am I making the right choice? It's such a big decision. It's one of those things that mistakes are meant to be made. And if you make them, learn from them. And, you can always move back.
Yeah.
You decide you want to do a show, you get cast in it and you're freaking out. Bow out. Like you can always not do what you decided to do. I think that's something that people have a really hard time, especially now. It's like, people feel like they have to be perfect. People feel like they have to stick with the choices they've made. They can't change that. There are things that people commit to that they feel like they have to stay with for the rest of their life. And it's like, you don't have to do that. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You should want to have so many experiences by the time you die.
Yeah.
Why do you want to do just the one thing for the rest of your life? Change. Do something different. Have the confidence to make those mistakes and move or do a show or do something. But if you're going to do it, do it. And if you think it's a mistake, know it's a mistake and change. Don't stick with something that makes you miserable.
Amen. Bekah.
Oh man. Okay, I'm so glad Erin goes first
I know,
because
I
he really
inspire
helps me develop my thought and it's just awesome.
Good big brother.
He is such a good big brother. I would like to say arrogance is a poison. Do not ever go into situations, no matter how many credentials you have, no matter what projects you worked on. No one knows who you are. We work in industries that if you're a background person, if you're not public facing, no one knows who you are. And they probably don't care.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's something everyone should accept. You should be happy with yourself. You should be happy with the work you've done. You should be happy with the energy you brought to the project. Because nothing bothers me more than not being able to have the dialogue with your colleagues working on a project because you're afraid that they're going to be mad at you. If you bring something and they're like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like, they're like, not only like shutting it down, but doing it in a way that's mean. I think people need to learn to just be nice to each other, that you're all working towards the same goal. You're not, once again, you're not competition. You're friends, or at least at best colleagues.
Well,
Yeah.
your colleagues deserve that respect.
Yes. And it's like, and this is not a generational thing to me. This is not an age thing to me. This is a blank human statement to people, because I've seen all types of, it's not a gender thing. I've seen all types of people be so rude to each other. And I'm like, you don't need to do that.
Yeah.
We're just here talking about the thing that we want to do.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're not curing cancer. I don't think theater has ever cured cancer, has it?
In stories.
Oh, in stories, yeah, okay. But still, like, calm
Take
down.
that, science.
Yeah.
I do not mean that.
Yeah. No, we love science. Oh my God, we love science. Redacted.
I think we have a t-shirt and a bumper sticker officially, and it is, the top part of it is recovering perfectionist.
Oh, yes.
And then the bottom part is hashtag I love science.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
100%. Just redacted.
Those are
redacted.
correlated, I swear.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, let's wrap up with our classic rapid fire.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're going to do this maybe slightly differently. I'm going to ask the question, and then I'm just going to like point to either of you to give you your first answer.
Okay, great.
The goal being, you just, whatever comes to your mind, assuming it's not a horrible, horrible thing that you can't say out loud.
Okay, no guarantee. No, just kidding.
And it's just 5 questions,
This is like Hot Ones. It's so awesome.
but less food.
Oh, fuck there. Where's my chicken wings? Like, are you kidding
Okay.
me?
We'll get chicken tenders later. Little bows.
The interview portion is like Hot Ones.
Okay, fine.
Ready?
Yes.
Favorite show you've worked on?
Favorite show? Well,
Or album in your case?
yeah, I was about to
guess.
say, because I've worked on 0, except for the one with Aaron. So, favorite album? Oh, my friend had a band called Shire. It was the first thing we ever worked on together, and it was incredible. Sarah Rossi, love her.
Cool.
The Minutes.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Favorite place to perform or, in your case, record?
I would say from a audience member perspective, the Concertgebouw in Amsterdam was incredible. I got to watch their national orchestra play there, and that hall is incredible.
A shithole dive bar. In a band, or I mean, I'd even do theater in a shithole dive bar, but just a place where there's graffiti all over the walls, the beer is dirt cheap, and the seediest freaking people show up.
You are the most low-key stand-up comedian. I just have to say that. Dream performance space or show? Bekah?
And I'm not going to say why, but 7 Brides for 7 Brothers with my brother directing, and he knows why.
Period. Moving on. So much to unpack there. Keep going. Aaron, yes.
Wait, what was the question?
Dream show or...
Frozen by, might butcher the name, Briony Laveri. Briony Laveri.
All right. This might look a little different for you, but favorite performance ritual or backstage, something you do ahead of time.
Speed through my lines.
Okay.
If I can say all of my lines, skipping over cues and knowing where they're coming in, that really centers me before the show, puts me into focus.
It's hard to say because I can't do those things because it gives me anxiety. So nothing, but drinking coffee is very important to me.
All right.
I have to have a good cup of coffee.
Favorite thing to do in Michigan outside of the performing arts?
To do in Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Brown bag and parking lots.
I love that. I would say
I can't.
it's so funny because Aaron and I literally have the most opposite fucking answers. For me, I'm like, oh, I really like working on projects at my house.
Like getting drunk in public parking lots.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I like doing that too, but it's not my favorite thing. Yeah, just working on like craft projects. Damn, you make me look really boring, Aaron.
I thought I was improving your image a bit.
Not at all.
Schlep of a brother.
No, my brother is like way cooler than I am. I don't do anything fun. I watch Gilmore Girls and cry at my house. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I do that after I get back from brown bagging and parking lots.
Oh my God.
Incredible. See, We are siblings.
I can't. Thank you both so much for coming on. This was a hoot nanny. I don't know.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank
I
you
will
for
come
having
back
us.
anytime. This was so much fun. I've never been a guest on a podcast. This rules.
You've only been on the opposite side.
Exactly.
So this is great. Thank you so much. Yes, I feel like we touched on things that have not been discussed yet, even like the AI piece and other aspects. And both of you having gone off and like had your experiences, but then coming back is one of the great things I think about. I don't know. I guess currently people of our generation, because people who are a lot younger aren't doing that, or they're already out, and so they haven't returned, you know?
Yeah.
But I think there's such a great group of folks that I'm getting to meet who have done that, whether they're our age or older or whatever. And those experiences are so important to have and then bring them back and share with others.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'm so glad you were here to talk about those influences and what you did and how they've shaped you today. So thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was so fun.